Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back to That Kevin Show. Well, I've teased it all show long, and here she is. She was in the balcony the night that President Trump addressed the nation this week, but she joins us once again. Peyton McNabb, it's always great to see you, lady, but congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
It's your story, and there's been, as you know, because you've been on the show so many times, I've told a lot of the women's stories that have been impacted by the boys and girls sports. But I was so pleased, and I know Riley was there, and I know that Paula and a whole bunch of them have stories, but I'm glad that the president picked yours to tell the night of the State of the Union. It seems to me to be the most glaring example of how someone can get hurt and actually lose a lot of opportunity and a lot of life because of the danger of that. What was your feeling in being invited? How did it all pan out for you?
Yeah, I mean, what an incredible opportunity. I was so incredibly honored, and I still am just overwhelmed with emotions because I'm just so thankful that we have a president that is willing to take on this very real issue and see it for what it is and give it a voice. I mean, he shared my story to the nation, and it really just shows that he genuinely does care, and he stands with women.
Yeah. What was very ironic as well was that you had all of the pink outfitted ladies that were down on the lower level, trying to make some sort of statement about how women don't like Trump or Trump doesn't like women or something along those lines. And about, well, most of them voted against the very thing that would protect women the day before. Like just the day before, a bunch of those women voted against women. What was your reaction to, and I know it's only on a procedural vote and the thing ended up passing and now it's going to be the law, but it was still such a, I don't know, slap in the face to see those people acting the way they did. And then they didn't even acknowledge you when your story was told. And I know people that were crying when he told your story.
Yeah, I know the irony. That's the first thought that I had, because the Democrats continue to show how out of touch they really are. I mean, like you said, the day before, 0 Democrats voted for the protection of women and girls, and then they all show up and try to parade themselves around like some kind of champion for women, but the pink suits can't hide the reality that they obviously do not care, because they have shown that in their actions, and they continue to do so. Yeah, and then them not even acknowledging me when I'm getting recognized just shows once again that they genuinely don't care. So I don't understand why they try to make themselves into these, fighters for women, and that Trump hates women so much. He doesn't. He knows what a woman is, and they don't. And they continue to show that.
Okay, if we're just going to get down to brass tacks, let's put it this way. The Democrats always talk about how they're the party of tolerance and they're the party of love and acceptance and of care and of compassion, but they didn't care about women who got injured in sports because men were playing in their sport. They didn't care about African-American children who fight cancer. They didn't care about young men who have lost their parents but still want to serve the country and get admitted into West Point. They didn't care about the victims of the immigration stories, the Venezuelan gang members that were raping and killing 12-year-old girls in Galveston, and the monster that raped and killed Laken Riley. They want to care. They say they care. They don't care about anybody that in the least bit makes their opponent look good. And that, I'm sorry, that's just un-American. There have been things that every president that has been president in my lifetime has done that I've agreed with, and some that I've disagreed with, and some I've disagreed with more, and some I've agreed with more. But overall, I'm not going to say, well, just because you're my opponent, you didn't do the good thing if they did the good thing. And here the president is doing the good thing on almost every front. And you know why they are not like that. It's not going to make them look good. And so they're going to be, less popular when the next election comes around. I want to shift gears a little bit, Peyton. what you've shared your story with us a few times, and I know that my viewers and listeners would love to know what's the latest with you. How are you progressing? How can people pray for you if they are still inclined to do that? What's the latest with you? Just you.
Well, it's been roughly, a little over 2 years, and thankfully I have healed a lot, but my body and mind are still recovering. I can take all the prayers that people are willing to pray for me. So, I think God has healed me, or I know that He has healed me so much this far, and hopefully I continue to get better. But of course, there still are things that I'm dealing with today, and it's just completely frustrating because this should not be the case.
Is the are the struggles that you're fighting with now, are they primarily physical? Is it neural processing with the brain? What do the doctors tell you in terms of your prognosis?
Yeah, well, like in the beginning, it was the worst for me, obviously, but a brain injury, it has affected my whole body. There's other health issues that have come up because of that. It's really just unaligned everything
Did it
in
impact
my
like
body.
organ function and things like, because the brain is like it's the computer for the body, so it tells everything what to do.
Yeah, I'm just having it's not really my organs or anything, but it's just my there's just a lot of health issues. I continue to have to go to the doctor and go to the chiropractor because I had permanent whiplash at first. There was a point where I had to go to the chiropractor weekly just so they could get me adjusted back and get my body aligned. I still have to do that to this day, like I said, almost a little over 2 years later.
Mm.
So there's a lot that goes into it. Like you said, the brain is the computer for your body, and the fact that that is what got injured has really just, I mean, that's why it's been this bad.
Well, it should have never been that way, and the president made an absolute promise to do something about it. And I know that you were at the executive order signing just a week or so previous. And we did speak to some other people that were there, but I was glad to see that you were able to attend that as well. But to be honored the way you were this week, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the Independent Women's Forum. I'm proud of the fight that all of us that were involved in never let up one inch, because I think if we had, it could have easily gotten steamrolled the other direction. And I don't care what the women on The View say. This is the administration that's going to go down in history as protecting women more so than any other.
Stick around for more of That Kevin. Next, That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.